Well, the time is just gone 9:20 a.m. and we are talking about the Flotilla of Steadfastness, and that is exactly what a Samud means. And we know over 50 boats sailing to break the siege, to break the blockade. And this morning we are joined by UK-based journalist and activist, none other than Dr. Yvonne Ridley. Dr. Yvonne, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to you. As always, we appreciate your time.
Walaikum salam Anayat. It's wonderful to be on Salam Media. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, I suppose, you are watching with interest as much as we are, and the world is actually watching, because this is unprecedented, where we've seen well over 50 boats sailing to break the siege on Gaza from over 44 countries, and the world is watching at this point in time.
The world is indeed watching, and the President of Colombia is one of the leaders who has wished this venture well. And unfortunately, while the global south appears to be cheering us on, the West are still looking the other way, including Frau Genocide, Ursula von der Leyen of the European Parliament, the European Commission. It is so sad that these politicians feel unable to cheer on the people of the flotilla. The Zionists are sneering at us, but they can sneer away. We're not interested in what they have to say. Their opinion matters of little to us. Our focus is to stop a genocide. And I think that that's quite a noble aim. And along with trying to stop a genocide, we are wanting to show solidarity with the Palestinian people. And each ship, despite its size, will be carrying some form of aid. Now then, I know that this is a drop in the ocean compared to what is really needed. But what we are saying is we have on board life-saving medical equipment, a little bit of food, some water. These are all the general stuffs of life, and we need to give it to the people of Gaza. The Palestinians are in a famine, a man-made famine, forced on them by their occupiers, Israel, a nation which constantly reminds us it was built on a Holocaust, of course, in World War II, a Holocaust which said never again. And yet here we are, 2025, and we are seeing skeletal babies, skeletal children, adults that are walking skeletons, that remind us of the images of Belsen and Auschwitz. And here we are, and of all the people in the world who have forced this famine, it is Israel, a rogue nation state which really does not deserve to exist. It has brought misery on the world. It is the most dangerous place on the earth. And the sooner it implodes, and it will, through its own toxic poison, it will implode. The sooner the better.
Well, the signs are there of that implosion, but as you mentioned, Dr. Yvonne, a drop in the ocean, but the oceans will be making a statement. The oceans will be making a very, very powerful message with well over 50 boats sailing. And that message is going to be profound. It's going to be a message, and as you mentioned, even to the governments that have been complicit for 23 months of this genocide, that enough is enough, because these are ordinary people that have now taken to the seas to make a stand, to take a standpoint as well, and to make to make this, to send this powerful message through this global Samud flotilla.
Well, this global Samud flotilla was born out of the the West's refusal to acknowledge that a genocide was taking place. And it was born out of frustration and for love for the Palestinian people. These heroic people who have been bombed, they have been starved, they've had their hospitals and their schools and their universities destroyed. There has been what we call an educide. It's incredible what is happening, but this is ordinary people power. We are all doing our best. We can no longer be bystanders. And so more than 200 of us from around the world, more than 40 different nations have come together in solidarity with the Palestinian people. And yesterday we were joined by Chief Mandela, because this flotilla carries the spirit of Nelson Mandela and his hopes and his vision and the many things that he said during his life, including "it's impossible until it isn't." And really, this flotilla is carrying the spirit of Mandela on the waves, and we even have his grandson with us, cheering us on. And I'm looking forward to meeting the chief again. We did meet the last time in Istanbul when a similar venture tried to sail, but it didn't. But we didn't fail back then. We learned from mistakes, and we picked ourselves up and we carried on. And we've had our ships targeted by Israel. We've had them bombed by Israel. The lead ship at the moment, which passed Mallorca, has been joined by a quadcopter and drones. These are frightening times because Israel is no respecter of international law. It is no respecter of maritime law. And we are genuinely fearful that these drones and quadcopters are carrying weapons like they do in Gaza. And so it is concerning, but the eyes of the world are on this historic flotilla. And what I would say to anyone in the Mediterranean Sea, if you have a boat, if you can hire a boat, come and join us, and let's see something like a mini Dunkirk, but in reverse. You know, let's have hundreds of boats on this flotilla. There is safety in numbers, there is safety in unity, and it shows Israel, the world hates what you're doing. Stop it now, and you know, help us break this brutal siege to try and give some relief to the Palestinians.
Well, certainly, and we always said this, Dr. Yvonne, Gaza will change the world, and Gaza is going to change the oceans with this flotilla as well. Despite, as you mentioned, Israel being a pariah state, a law unto itself, and despite even on the day of the launch of the flotilla, we saw Ben Gvir talking about a plan to the Israeli cabinet on how to stop this massive convoy, to designate the civilian crew of the flotilla as terrorists, talking about high security prisons, all these threats that are already being issued. Apart, over and above, you mentioned these drones, and we don't know what is contained, and it's highly likely that they could possibly be, offensive drones, for want of a better term. But despite all of this, people have decided enough is enough, and we will go and we will risk it all, just to make sure that this stated aim of Israel, this brutal genocide, has got to stop. And we will do, and we have to do, we must do what we have at the end of the day to stop all this brutality, the carnage, the savagery, the death, the destruction, and everything else that this genocide has been about.
Yes, indeed. We have a press conference at 6 o'clock tonight in Tripoli, Libya, where I am at the moment. And I'm joining the crew of the Al Mukhtar boat, which is really exciting. And of course, Omar Al Mukhtar, a Libyan legend, embodies the spirit of this flotilla. And he said that more powerful than weapons is unity. And this is what this flotilla is all about, unity. And this is something that the Israelis have never faced with their guns. They are facing peace activists who are strong in solidarity and unity. And these are qualities and characters that they do not understand. And we will overpower them. And the Italian dock workers have made a fantastic announcement. They are supporting us. We have the support of this great working class trade union, and it has said, we will keep in touch with you. And if we lose radio contact, even if it's just for 20 minutes, we will bring the docks of Europe to a halt, and Israel will feel like will become under siege, because nothing seaborne will be delivered to Israel. So they may as well run out now and start buying up their toilet rolls and their bread, because Israel is about to experience what life is like under siege if they try and stop us. We are not sailing in Israeli waters. We do not want to go to Israel. If we end up in prison in Israel, it is because we have been kidnapped. I have written to my local MP and told him that I expect to be protected as a British citizen. And so in the next few days, we're about to find out if Britannia really does rule the waves.
Well, Yvonne, occupied Palestine waters and not Israeli waters. I think that's important. But I think it actually gives me goosebumps from what you're saying and the boat that you're going to be on, because, I've been following Umar Mukhtar for a very, very long time, a hero, on the African continent, a freedom fighter, someone that actually stood out. And I think for me, that is just so, it's amazing that a boat named after a great freedom fighter, one who fought for many, many years to liberate Libya as well from the Italians, and being on that boat alone, I suppose, filled with emotion. It's a highly emotive moment for you as well, Yvonne. But I wish you well, inshallah. We wish the flotilla well, all the boats sailing from right across the entire world as well. And we will certainly be watching with interest when these boats obviously hit the seas, and more importantly, when they get a lot more closer to Gaza as well. But we will be following your journey. We thank you. We wish you safety. We wish you well as well. And as always, Dr. Yvonne, Jazakallah for your time. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, free Palestine. And that is an update out of Tripoli with Dr. Yvonne Ridley. And we will continue following the flotilla. I see we've got a message. May Allah protect you. Yes, Ameen for that. My sister who has sent that message, inshallah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the people. And more importantly, grant them a success in this mission, because this is going to be a very powerful statement. It's going to be a very, very profound statement. All eyes will be on the oceans, and the oceans making their way towards the waters of occupied Palestine. The time is just gone 9:35. We come back, we'll be covering the 4th International Conference on Islamic Civilization in Southern Africa.